happy day, everyone. The sky is clean, and I am excited to go running later today. For today's art lesson, we're going to continue with the self-portrait features. We already did the eyes, we did the nose, and today will be the mouth. The mouth is a little easier and a little quicker, but still we need to practice it to get it just the way you want it, because a small difference could make it look either the way you want it to look or not quite that way. Let's jump on in. We're going to use lined paper again because I like the way the lines help line things up for me. There you go. And the lips are pretty easy. I like breaking it down into steps. So let's break it down into just 4 basic steps. So I'm going to use the line in the middle, and I'm basically going to make a really saggy M or some low mountains. Okay, and so I go down a little bit and I come down like that. So that is the middle of the mouth. And if you're doing quick cartoons, sometimes that's good enough. So that's step 1. Step 2 will be to add the top part of the lip. And if you notice people's lips, their creases or their dimples go beyond the top lip. So kind of start in a little bit and just kind of reflect the mountain you just made. But notice the first one goes beyond it, the outside of it. And the bottom lip, step 3, so yeah, step 2 would be to make the top of the mountain. Step 3 is to kind of make a little saggy, almost a U. So I'm gonna make them touch and kind of curl at the edges. So that's 3. Notice the bottom lip is thick. Everyone has a different type of lip. Some are thick, some are thin. Some people have a thin top lip, thin bottom lip. So this person I made has a thin top lip and a thick bottom lip. So that's step 3, it's just the bottom part. And step 4 is probably just the shading. Shading is really important for lips. Obviously the crease in the middle is where your mouth opens up, right here. The 2 lips separate, so there's gonna be shadows there. Especially if the mouth is a little bit open, there'll be more shadows, but there'll be shadows there. So just kind of make a darker line, not too dark. And I like to just gently shade the top lip and leave a little spot white, like a reflection. And gently do the bottom lip too. And there you have it. If you want to add little details like a little dimple over here, or if you want to add, sometimes you might notice this, lips kind of have little lines on them. So I'm going to curl these lines up. You could add a little authenticity looking to your lips. You don't have to do that. So those were 4 steps. So I'm going to draw the steps separately now. So step 1 is just the long, saggy. This time I'm going to separate. I'm going to make the mountain, this little thing right here, a little dip in the lip. A lot of people have that. Some people don't. Some people's is bigger than others. And they call that a milk tooth. They call that for babies. It's a little dimple in your lips that kind of comes down. Some people have a really pronounced one. Other people don't really have one. But I like to draw it because my lips are kind of like that. So step 2 is just to do the bottom part. And it's kind of like the bottom half of a trapezoid. Okay, and step 3 is to, oh, actually no, step 2 is the top part of the lip, but we'll switch around step 2 and 3. Step 3 is reflecting the same part twice. You do that on top of that. And step 4 is shading and adding little curls. So I'll do top, so we'll do mountain, we'll call it that. We'll do the bottom, we'll do the top of the mountain, top of mountain, MTN, and then shading. Those are your 4 steps. So I want you to make 5 practices of these and circle the one you like the most. I'm gonna make another one. I'm gonna make this lip. See, I made that really sharp and close together, the little milk tooth. I'm going to make this one come down and make it a little bit longer. Okay, step 1. Step 2 is reflecting it. And remember, don't start at the edge, start a little bit in. And I'm gonna make these top lips thin. Stop at the edge. So kind of like an M. And I like to always start not touching. So bottom of the trapezoid. Actually, that's gonna be a thick lip. I'm gonna make these lips thin because my lips are kind of thin. So I'm gonna start, and I'm gonna go more of an angle. And I'm gonna connect. say those ones are thicker than these. The bottom lip's pretty thin here. So that was step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4 is just shading. So I'm gonna add the crease, the little dimples there. I'm gonna shade where the lips come together, make that a little darker. I'm gonna make the little lines that are on people's lips. And then I'm gonna shade in gently the bottom lip, really gently, and a little bit darker the top lip. I like making the top lip a little darker. Kind of gives the effect of just shadows. Another little feature you can make is a lot of times people's upper above their lip, it dimples in like that. So you can put a little line, a little shadow there. But that might get you in trouble if you make that shadow too dark. So there you go. I do like, actually I think I like that one more. The fuller lips look more interesting. I think the darker shading looks better too. Let me shade darker. If you shade too dark, it looks like they're wearing lipstick, which you might want, but another little tip for you all is using the finger to smudge it. You kind of blend the shading to make it look more natural. So I do that over here too. Just drag my finger across. See, I picked up a little bit of graphite on my finger, but when I shade it, it makes it look much more realistic. Let me just kind of make this line a little darker. Make the whole thing thicker. So you notice you can go over details a lot, but sometimes if you do too much detail, it'll kind of ruin it. Okay, so there you go. That's your lesson for today.